I will go ahead and call the Warren County Salary Board
This is 2
meetings
weeks.
to order.
Doesn't make any sense.
This would be May 10th.
Sorry, I'm closing.
Sprinkles.
You didn't use the gavel yet, so.
At this time, I would like to open the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. This meeting is being recorded. You'll find the faculty meeting minutes from April 12th. Are there any amendments?
Make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve minutes from April 12th. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 The ayes have it. There's no unfinished business. I would ask for a motion to amend the agenda to add a non-fiscal bearing item to the agenda, which would be affirming the Warren County job positions. Let me explain in a quick presentation before I actually ask for the motion. A couple of HR administrators ago, I believe, I had asked for a list of all the positions within the county because it seemed like periodically we would get someone to say, oh, well, that is an existing position, it's just been vacated for the last 6 years. And this has happened, I don't know how many times over the years. And with every instance, I get increasingly frustrated and say, where is this master list of all the positions that have been approved by salary board? So the idea is to wipe the slate clean with this document, which Tina has ably provided after much research. And I'm very pleased to see this thing that I think I asked for in 2017, probably. When was, well, never mind. Anyway, it's been a while, so I'm very pleased to see this. So this would be an affirmation beyond the elected positions, but that there's one chief clerk, for instance, that there's a director of finance and administration, a finance administrator, a human resources administrator, an employees benefits and risk administrator, one director of facilities, one full-time technician, 2. The courts have a court reporter, and I'm sorry, 5, no, that can't be right. The court reporter and a judicial law clerk, only 1? I thought there were 2. Oh, and then you have all of those court.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's 2 judicial law clerks, correct?
correct.
And then 13 court reporters, does that sound right? One court reporter and then all the tip staff.
Right.
So that would need to be added. There's 2 administrative assistants for each MDJ office, a court hearing officer, a court hearing office manager. In the district attorney's office, there's a first and assistant district attorney, chief administrator, a deputy chief administrator, and a chief county detective. Chief public defender, an assistant public defender, office manager. I guess I don't need to go down through each one of these, but I did look through it earlier. Where did the interns end up going?
All the way to the end.
Okay, at the very bottom, we have 3 open part-time intern positions. Very good. Well, I did look through this earlier and it seemed to be correct. But again, the idea would be to affirm this, wipe the slate clean, and so that if anyone in the future says, oh, this is a previous position that doesn't need to go before salary board, we can point back to this document and say, on this date, May 10th, 2023, as of that date, if it wasn't on this list, it does not exist.
Make a motion to adopt the list of positions as presented.
I would second that motion.
Motion made and seconded.
I mean, if it needs changed or there's something, we can do that at the next meeting.
Absolutely.
But it's a good start, though.
It's a great start. I'm very grateful. Thank you. All right, so the motion I'll take is, first of all, motion to amend the agenda to add this to the agenda, and then second of all, to adopt this or ratify the job position listing.
I'll amend my motion to include adding this to the agenda and then also approving it as a part of that.
Is that all right?
And I'll second the amendment to the motion.
Oh,
Thank you,
that
ma'am.
means we have to actually vote on it, and then, that's great. So first on the amendment, all those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Carries.
Aye.
Now on the main motion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Aye.
And thank you for working on this.
Sure.
That's it's a very wonderful thing that you did and very complete and well done.
Now moving backwards on the agenda, we'll take up the part-time register and recorder support position and see
This was the least show.
Louisa Shea.
I figure since Siegfried and Roy's back,
You know this is up for
this is
listening.
like a kind of a lead up to that.
Yeah.
We help you.
Help me, help you, help
Ms.
me.
Berghaus, what is your request?
Well, I had hoped that we could add a full-time administrative person, like we discussed last time, but since then, Tina and I talked, and Lisa, and they asked me how I felt about possibly adding a part-time temporary administrative person that could help us out until we get our new software in, hopefully by the end of the year. And hopefully that software is going to automate a lot of the things that we're still typing and scanning. And I mean, there's just, it just seems like it could be done so much more efficiently. And I'm hoping that new software will. They're telling us it will. And not only they're telling us it will, but other register and recorders from other counties are saying it's going to help. I hope it does. I really do. And so then maybe revisit the full-time administrative person after the new software is implemented. And I think if we were allowed to have a temporary part-time person added, that would also help us through the transition of the new software.
Yeah.
And with a lot of projects that are still sitting that we've been working on as we have time.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, let me know.
All right, we're making out of in terms of budget.
We did do an analysis of the budget with the two positions that are in the office. There was an availability of $6,300 in there. So if we hired this position today at 25 hours a week at the $1,375, there would still be a shortcoming of $5,300 in the wages line item for the register and recorder's office.
So it'd have to come from contingency. Well.
And that's if we hired them today, they started today, so.
And you assume that you could actually reach 999 hours by the end of the year?
No, we wouldn't be able to do that because of
Okay.
some
So-
other rules governing it. We would really only be able to do 25 hours a week.
Yep. So I don't think you're gonna go too far from budget then.
No, it'll be over budget, but not significant.
I'm going to make a motion to approve the part-time register and recorder support position as outlined in the proposal. Not that I have
Okay,
the
it is.
list to show short, but
Okay, motion's been made, seconded. What is the official title of this?
Would it be part-time administrator, administrative?
It's 3479. That's right, assistant clerk, yeah.
Okay, so currently he is director, deputy recorder for each side.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume this would be, but what is 1375 attached to, an administrative assistant?
Yes. That is that's the wage rate that we use for a floater, administrative assistant.
What does the union
So-
contract say?
We didn't use that number under sports and something.
68?
Yeah,
I think it's 1468.
So why isn't it that number?
because we have other positions such as Ms. Larson that comes in and works. They things such as this, and that's the rate that we use, $13.75. Also, we have a couple other positions in the building that are part-time at $13.75.
The union doesn't push back.
That's what we pay them, so.
I'm surprised that they haven't said anything, if it's on the contract.
Yeah, because they're.
Would it be, so is this just a temporary position instead of a part-time position?
That's what we called it, is a temporary.
Temporary
position.
part-time position.
Okay, okay, that's what I thought, so that wouldn't have an impact then.
All right, well, then my question is, when does the temporary end?
Either at the end of the year or maybe at the end of our software transition, which should be by the end of the year.
Okay. So,
Yeah, we'd
Thank-
rather do that in the year.
I think then the motion is to create a temporary, part-time administrative assistant position in the registered recorder's office, non-union, no benefits, at a rate of $13.75 an hour.
That makes sense.
Was that your motion, Commissioner Eggleston, original?
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that, I just think that, you know, even if the position's temporary, if it's part-time and they're doing work that can be done in the courthouse, technically it should be under the union contract.
Yeah, I don't see why it's not.
And so I don't have a problem with it technically one way or the other, it seems like that's something that we would want to clear with them before we hire somebody, because, I'm kind of confused as to how they haven't filed a grievance on the other positions if they're not in the contract.
I mean, me too, but I think it does have to do with the temporary nature of it, therefore I believe your motion would then, we just need to make it temporary, so the end of the year, this
Right.
2023 sounds reasonable to me. Okay? So, and then HR can investigate further on everyone else.
Yep.
Okay. Dan, could you read back the motion?
To create a temporary part-time administrative assistant position in the Register and Recorder's Office, non-union, no benefits, at $13.75 per hour until December 31st, 2023.
Very good. Is everyone ready to vote on that?
Can I-
Lisa, you do get a vote on that.
Can I make one more comment? Because we are using the starting wages from the contract for 2021, there's a lot of positions that will start at $13.75, but the MDJ administrative assistants are $14.86.
There are other administrative assistants that are at $13.75.
Correct.
Okay, good. So all those in favor of the motion that the Chief Clerk just read back, please state aye.
Aye.
Right?
Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. Congrats.
Thank you, I appreciate you guys. All of you, appreciate your help.
Give me some confidence. I thought it was 3479.
See ya.
It is 7283439.
Okay, Adam's gonna call in, he's gonna have this on his calendar.
At least that's what I have for the number.
Okay, I'm calling him because he can't get through, so.
I just,
Did right there. Mr. McNeil?
no, that was me.
Oh, that was you?
Oh.
I was testing it out, it said the wrong one. 7283439, I just sent him the contact.
Hi, it's Lisa, and I have you on speakerphone.
Great.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Commissioner McNeil, we are through everything else on the agenda except the creation of 4 new positions for your office. I remember that you mentioned them at governing board, but would you mind describing the need and scope for the 2 intellectual disabilities service aide positions in the fiscal department, mental health clerk typist positions?
I missed a little bit of that. Ben, did you ask me to describe that briefly?
Yes.
Okay, so the clerk typist position is, previously there were 2 more tech positions, which are higher than the typist position, that were eliminated. I don't know when, but the fiscal department has requested several times for some assistance, and we're able to do a time study and across the board fill a full-time clerk position. Hold on, my phone's ringing, I apologize. Basically, they're gonna go across departments, working on several things like data entry and probably some of our POMs and promise work, which is like part of the BSU. And then the case aide position is basically going to take up all the non-billable functions of our caseworkers. The other departments have 5 caseworkers to 1 case aide. The case aide has the ability to go places, pick people up, do those types of things. The ID department does not have a case aide for 6 caseworkers, so they'll be absorbing all of the rep payee functions, which were previously underneath somebody that just retired. And so they'll be picking up that work, plus all of the rep payee work that the caseworkers were doing. So those are non-billable functions, and if we pull out the non-billable functions that they're doing for rep payee, which I did a time study on, it will create about $120,000 in revenue if the caseworkers are expected to continue on their current productivity standards, which they are going to continue on those metrics. So basically, it'll open up another, and so that 120K can actually only be used within the SCs. So it would allow us to, again, probably look at needs-based for the community and hire another direct care worker as well. That would then end up creating even more revenue. So that's kind of where it was based in. It was based in dollars and time study.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? There are 4 positions.
Hannah, where's the revenue coming from? Like, tell me what the funding stream, is it coming from the Commonwealth? Something we don't have today?
The case aide position is through ODP.
Okay.
Funding.
To summarize a
I
little.
have to ask Kathy exactly where, because I'm still sifting through some of that.
Okay.
That said, Commissioner Durbin, this is, really we can add any positions to, approved positions to human services, and it's automatically 90% reimbursed by the state. So that's how you get, I think, with that 17,000 in county, is the 10% local match from the county that we need for this position. But it sounds like what he's describing is additional revenue on top of what we currently bring in.
Actually, well, yes, so my understanding of it is that basically you're hiring 2 people to do work that other people are doing that isn't billable. And those people then will be able to do more billable work, and then that's where the additional revenue comes in and offsets these positions.
Correct, just for the case aide position. The other position was actually just the person retired, and then, so it's going to absorb that, and so I don't even know if it needed to go to salary board. We're just changing the name of it, and then they're going to be pulling in those fiscal tech functions for the 2 people that were never rehired as well.
Yeah, and Kathy explained that in detail at the Human Services Board, so.
Okay, are there any questions? I'm looking for a motion to approve effective today 4 positions. Number 1, Social Services Aide 2, full-time with benefits, which would be a salary of $29,686. The next would be Social Services Aide 3, a salary of $31,714 a year, full-time with benefits, again effective today. The third would be a Clerk Typist 2, a salary of $894 full-time with benefits, effective today. And then fourth and finally, a Clerk Typist 3 with a salary of $29,686 full-time with benefits, again effective today. Are there any questions?
You got the Clerk Typist 2 in there, right?
I'm pretty sure I did.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve what you just said.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of the motion to create those 4 positions as stated, please state aye.
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 Opposed, nay. The ayes have it. That completes the agenda. Is there any cause for executive session? It says needed on here, but
No, I like that.
I'm not aware of any need. Oh, okay. Then we'll stand adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
I